Hey everybody, it's Briar Harvey here for another episode of Systems Are Messy, and with me today is the beautiful priestess Contessa. Tessa, tell us about yourself.
Oh my gosh, it's so much easier for me to tell people like what I don't do because there's so much. But first of all, thank you so much for having me on your podcast to talk about systems. And it's funny because if someone would ask me if I have system for things, I'd be like, no, absolutely not. But I have to
You're a
because these
liar.
things
You're a
that I
liar.
do have to have a system in order. There's no way I could do them all. Like running and managing a supportive community, you have to have systems for that, right? This laundry company that I'm doing, definitely systems, especially when you're dealing with independent contractors. And just my life like as a mother raising a kid on the autism spectrum, I don't even know if it's raising anymore. We're like managing, right?
Yeah,
Because
I think you're his social calendar lady at this point in time, right?
right? And making sure that he goes to where he needs to be and all these things and keeping up with all his appointments and all that, that all needs a system. So I don't go crazy, right? So yeah, so those are some of the things that I'm doing.
So how do you keep track of it?
Oh my gosh. Well, a lot of it's you. But yeah, like Briar's really good. Every time there's something that I need that I can't wrap my head around, I'm like, Briar, how do you do that? She's like, oh, I got you. But seriously, like between my Google Calendar, that's my number one thing. With if it doesn't get on my calendar, it does not get done. Either you need to email it to me or I need to put it on my calendar immediately because 5 seconds later, my mind is someplace else and it does not get done. Even my daughter, bless her heart, she learned this the hard way because she needed me to take her here and to go to this for school and especially when during college tours, oh my goodness, she learns if you want mom to do something, you better send her an email. So I have everybody trained to email me.
This is true. This is true.
That's the only way I keep things organized. And it works. Come on. It's free. Like you get so much value out of something that is free 99 and everyone has access to it. I have it on my phone, I have it on my tablet, I have it on my laptop, it's on the computer, it's everywhere. And even if I don't have it, I can log on anywhere at any time and get it. So if I lose my phone, I'll be like, hey, give me your phone. And I can log into my Google account and look and see what I have. And the alerts, oh man, especially like some things that are long term, like I know I need to drive and get dressed for, send me an alert the day before, send me an alert 3 hours beforehand. Send me an alert when I need to be on the road. That stuff keeps me sane, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and I like how Google will give you leave times, right? Like you gotta go. It's time for you to get up and go get in the car and leave now. Thank you, Google. Thank you.
It's like you should be on the road right now. Right now. And you're like, yes, yes, I should. And I'm running out the door. Thankfully, it doesn't take long to get ready because we can actually do this like this. It doesn't take long. Um, but I can run out and get to where I need to go with no problem.
So, how often do things slip through the cracks?
It does. It absolutely does. Again, if you do something outside of my system, it will absolutely slip through the cracks. And that's why I have to tell people, even my friends, I'm like, I know we're friends. You have to follow the systems that I put in place. They get mad. They get so mad. It's like, I'm not one of your little business partners. I'm your friends. I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. Tessa, you're not here. Did you follow the system?
Did you email me like I told you you
I
needed to?
asked you to. Did you email it to me? No, I told you face to face. Oh, well, it didn't get done. Usually that's the only way that things slip through the cracks is if you don't follow the processes and procedures that I have in place. It's there for a reason. I cannot remember 50, 11 things I need to do every single day. I can't. It is impossible. No one can. That's why these things are here. Not only does it help me, but it helps you not be mad at me every day.
I think that we get very stuck in our way of doing things, but it's much easier to work around somebody else's system than to force them to acquiesce to yours.
I tell people it's always a good idea just to do what I say. It's so much easier on everyone. Just listen to Tessa and your life will be so much easier. Because believe me, I've thought about it 100 ways and I've come up with the easiest way to get it done. So really, it just works for your benefit. That way you don't have to figure it out. Like scheduling stuff, I'm not doing, well, can you do it at 2 o'clock? Can you do it at 4 o'clock? Can you do it this way? Here's my scheduler. Schedule it. It's done. And when you use the scheduler, guess what? It automatically goes on my calendar. It's that easy. Hey, when do you want to do this? I have one for my friends. I have ones for my family. I have ones for particular things. Here's my scheduler for this. Here's my scheduler for that. Get it done.
You use Acuity, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And there are some free things out there. Acuity does everything that I need and at an affordable price point, like everything I could possibly think of. Even if it's something that I decide I want to charge for, I can use Acuity to do it. That way I'm not trying to link this and send emails out. Acuity does it
Mm-hmm.
all. And it has never failed for me. Never. Some people I know have had issues. I just think it's not configured correctly, but I've never had an issue with it at all. And I've used it for years.
No, I've used Acuity for a long time. It is far and away my favorite scheduler. It's functional. It has bells and whistles, but mostly it's just functional.
Right, right. I mean, you could add a whole bunch of extra stuff. You know, if you connect it to Zapier, you could have it do all kinds of stuff. Most people don't need that, right? I just need to know what time I need to be there, and I need to put it on my calendar. That's it. And Acuity will do that for you.
So tell me, how do you review or process?
How do I review or process what? Because like my brain is I want to say my brain is different, but I'm sure other people's brain like works like mine. And it seems really weird for me to say that my brain is different when I have a child on the spectrum and his brain is different. So the way that I process things, and I make decisions really quickly, which surprises people. It's like you have this complex thing. My brain goes, yeah, yeah, okay, done. I can look at something and literally either I know the answer or I don't. And if I don't know the answer, then I'm going to defer to somebody else because I'm not going to spend hours sitting here trying to figure something out that I already know that I don't know the answer to. It just doesn't make sense for me to think about it and process this. And let me come back to it. And 2 weeks later, I'm still thinking about whether or not I'm going to do a thing. No, I'm either going to do a thing or I'm not going to do a thing. I'm either going to show up or I'm not. I'm either going to buy the thing or I'm not. There are plenty of other things that I need to worry about, whether than, oh, let me think about this for 3 months before I move on it. No, what is wrong with people? Like, I don't understand. Am I going to buy the thing? Yeah. Why? Because I want it. That's just it. That's just it. I'm going to buy the thing. Am I going to go here? No. Why? I don't feel like driving out that way. You too. I don't care. I don't want to do it. My yeses are yeses and my nos are nos. And it's really, really quick to do. And I guess it's pretty fortunate because I've been like that almost all of my life. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about the thing. I spend a lot of time maybe doing the thing, preparing for the thing, right? But actually deciding whether or not I'm going to do something or be someplace or if this is where I'm going to spend my time or energy, it's almost instant. By the time the words leave your mouth, I already know. For
Yeah.
larger purposes, because I'm supposed to be financially fit and all this other stuff, I will give it 24 hours. In my head, I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then I don't do it till the next day to make sure that this is what I want to spend. If it's going to take a large chunk of money or time to make sure that I'm not making an emotional decision. And most of the time, I'm not.
Yeah,
Pretty
and
true.
I know you, and you don't change your mind that often. So,
No,
no.
not often. Unless there was some fact that I did not know, like, yeah, you don't want to work with this person because they are a terrible human. That's probably the only reason why I would change my mind. But if I say I'm gonna do a thing, I'm gonna do a thing, and that's just it.
So, what do you wish you could do better?
Oh, it's almost like if you could have a magical gift, what would it be?
Yeah, if you have a planning gift, Tessa, what would it be?
Gift, what would it be? I wish that I had the ability to look at things more long term, to envision what something's going to be like 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road. I wish that I can do that. Most likely, I could look at something like a year down the road, right? Because I know that there's so many variables that to me, I can't envision on how something is going to be in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years. Because again, I have a child on the spectrum. There is no way that I could have said, yeah, in 3 years, I'm going to be able to do this, or 4 years he's going to be able to do that. I was so used to taking things as it came and then being able to shift and pivot depending on whatever situation is coming my way. And so learning how to make long-term goals is something that I wish that I could do better. How about you?
For me, oh gosh, I wish that I was a little bit better about not having a plan. But that too is a function, honestly, of having a child on the spectrum. When I was a teenager, I never had a fucking plan. The plan was I'll do whatever the fuck I want, I'll go wherever the fuck I want, and that's the plan. And because my daughter is so regimental, had to be, I had to learn. And because I have Virgo tendencies, I probably swung the other direction a little too hard because, man, I plan relaxation time. I have studies that suggest that that goal setting your relaxation time is a healthy tactic to have. So if it's a nap and 5 hours of Netflix and takeout, but it's still the plan.
But see, you said something. I have to plan my breaks. It's a little easier now because even though I'm busy, I'm not busy 24/7. My busy is a very productive busy. I'm busy for this chunk of time and then this chunk of time and then this chunk of time, rather than being busy all day long. So I can do what I need to do for this chunk of time, but then I can rest and relax. So I don't have to plan relaxation anymore. But when I was grinding 24/7, I absolutely had to plan those things in because I have a chronic illness. And so if I don't get that
Yep,
rest, Tessa can't do the things at all at any point in time. Crash, burn, done for weeks at a time. And so
right.
in Google Calendar, there was rest and blocks of rest, so I can do the things. But now I don't have to because, it's like, oh, it's 2 o'clock. I'm not doing anything. It's absolutely nap time. You know, sure, make it into bed, watching Netflix, drifting off in the afternoon. And because I have these processes in place, I can do those things. I schedule things in chunks of time. This is the time that I do these type of things. This is the time that I do that type of thing. This is the time I do interviews. This is the time that I work on doing stuff. This is all these different things are in chunks so that I can take long periods of breaks and just relax and chill. And it works so well. It's just an amazing thing. Like I walk around with this smile on my face. It's like, you're so busy doing all the things and you're so happy. Yeah, my life is good. It's smooth.
Yeah,
And
because having a
smooth.
plan and having a system and making it work really is beneficial.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm not hurried and rushing and thinking that I'm forgetting something. And oh my gosh, I need to be here. And oh my gosh, I'm late for that. That hardly ever happens in my life. Because before I go to bed, I have a Google Home too. Love that thing. Hey, tell me my schedule for tomorrow. Hey, Google, what's my schedule? And you have this, 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 this. I bet. And I can go to sleep not wondering what I have to do the next day. I already know. I'm prepared for it. It's ready. In the morning, here I go again. Hey, Google, what's up for today? Google tells me what I got to do so I can mentally prepare. It's like, oh, yeah, I got plenty of time. Let me go ahead and sit here naked and eat my cereal, you know? And because I'm in total and complete control of my schedule, I know I'm not peopling till noon. Absolutely. Look, unless I love you, I am not peopling until noon.
My family doesn't want to people with me before noon either, so I try real hard not to inflict that on people who are not related to me by blood or marriage, because that's unfortunate, and no one should have to deal with me before noon. No one.
So, like, I look like this really nice, sweet person. That's because I didn't people before noon.
Right, right.
Look, I've been hydrating. I got my water. I got my plants. These are putting off like really good things into the air, breathing clean air. These are the things that I need so I can keep the smile on my face.
And Facebook and a really nice bowl, and that's my morning, because I am not peopling, or and I have a lot of guilt still sometimes about my lack of a structured routine in the morning, but no, it's not.
But it is structured.
It is. It's my structure. It's not journaling and exercise and kale smoothies, but it is my structure.
Yes. Again, it's that chunking thing. From this time to this time, I'm focused on me. Whatever I want to do during that time and however I choose to spend it, it is my time. To me, that's scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
Scheduling. It doesn't have to be every second of every moment I have something to do. I don't work like that, and that makes me really stabby. Like, I can't have my life that controlled. I want to wake up and be like, yeah, I might feel like doing yoga today. Oh, let me go to the dollar store today. Huh, I ain't doing a damn thing today. You know, that's the way it is. That is the way it is. And I love it. It feels so good. Because before, young Tessa with young Quan and all the craziness and not knowing what was going on and feeling so out of control, and realizing as I got older that was that fight or flight that kept popping up because that's all I knew and all I knew and all I knew. That all is going away because I have the security in my calendar. My calendar is one of the few secure things that I have. The calendar doesn't fail.
No, the calendar at least does what it says the calendar will do, right?
Yes, I can trust and believe. Calendar doesn't lie. Look, calendar's not going to ghost on me. I'm good. Calendar and I are friends.
So tell us, Tessa, my dear, what you are working on right now.
Ooh, all right. There's some good stuff. So right now, I have two major projects that I'm working on, and these are projects of love so much. And so, I mentioned, having an adult child with autism and being an advocate and all those things. And this is almost 30 years, right, of doing this. And so I have the supportive community, and the supportive community is amazing. It's wonderful. We have resources, we have educational videos, we have coaching, and inside the community, we have smaller communities, right? Because the autism spectrum is such a wide, vast of individuals. So you have some that are doing some of this on the spectrum, and some that are doing this, and then we have some that are older and younger, and some of us has been in the game for a while, and some of us has. So we have these tiny little communities for all of them who understands exactly what you are going to. And so we decided that we want more people to be able to experience this, right? Because again, as young Tessa, I couldn't afford to be able to do it at all. It just was not possible. Even at $50 a month, I $50 a month was groceries, right? And so we decided to link up with a nonprofit to provide these for single moms with kids on the autism spectrum at absolutely no cost. And so that's going to be rolling out here pretty soon. And we're just going to have pockets of moms, right? Because we want to do a live event as well. So we want to show up because we just don't want to be the face behind the screen. We want to let you guys know that we want to support you in the community that you're in as well. So we're going to have a pocket full of moms in this city, a pocket full of moms in that city, and a pocket full of moms over here. And we're just going to get together and find out ways to make life better for your family. And so I'm super, super excited about that. Did I miss anything? Did I forget a point?
No, I think you got it all. I love Unpuzzled, and we will link it down below because it is amazing. And if you have a child on the spectrum, you absolutely should join us.
Absolutely, absolutely. And not just on the spectrum. We say spectrum because, my child's on the spectrum, but your child could have ADHD, your child could have sensory processing disorder, your child could have dyslexia, your child could have whatever makes that child have a more complex diagnosis. They may need extra care. We want to let you know that you're welcome because one of my good friends who's a part of Unpuzzled, but she doesn't have a child on the spectrum, she said, I didn't realize that there's really no difference in the way that you parent your child and in the way that I parent mine.
The techniques are the same. The diagnoses are different, but the techniques are the same. And it's about love and acceptance and the ways in which we work with our children instead of against them. So,
Exactly. It's loving your child the way they are and being in their world and observing them in their world and saying, how can I help you be more comfortable in this world? And how can I help you be more comfortable in your body in this world? So that's an amazing thing. So that's project number one. Project number two, and I love project number one, but I love the way, now listen, I love the way project number two is going to dip into project number one. And so I have a local service-based company called Laundry 23. And what we do is we go and we pick up your laundry on whatever day you want. You just put your laundry outside. We'll come get it. So you don't have to do it. Our laundry techs go, wash them, dry them, fold them, make them smell all pretty if that's what you want, and drop it back off the next day. And so all you have to do is pick it up and put it in your drawer. Laundry's done. And the best thing about this is, and this is where this dips, this is where everything connects in this beautiful little package, that we're going to train individuals that have autism to do laundry so that they now can have an income and be independent contractors. And I'm so excited about that because as I was sitting here, I was watching my son and I was like, Juan loves laundry. He does laundry every Friday. I don't have to ask him. I don't have to say anything. He gets up, eats his breakfast, and then he does laundry. And he washes it and folds it and puts it where it needs to be. And I'm like, yo, other people can do this. And it's laundry is one of those things that you don't have to sit and watch. Put it in, washing machine buzz you when it's done, throw it in the dryer, it buzz you when it's done. So it's not something that you have to sit there and do constantly for 8 hours, like if you were filing or if you're doing like warehouse work or some of these other things, or you won't have to be outside in the sun if you're doing landscaping work, which is some of the other jobs that they train you to do, like very repetitious jobs over just 8 hours over and over and over and over, kind of non-thinking type of job. This is something different that if you love to fold laundry, this is definitely a job for you. So I'm super, super excited about that as well. And of course, we'll have links for you too.
yay! I wish you were closer, frankly.
Every time I tell somebody about that, they're like, I wish that we had this here. I'm like,
You probably do.
It's like you do, and it's like if you search for it, you'll find it now. Is the company like mine? No, it's not going to have the Tessa touch that my company will have.
I
But there,
know it's the Tessa touch we're missing.
right. But you probably have something. So if you live in a major metropolitan area, you probably have something similar to it. Even some of the laundromats will come and pick up your laundry. They may not do 24-hour service. You may get it back later that week or something like that. But it is available. But the part of the training, the employment training, is something that once I get the process done, I can teach other people how to do it. And then here we go with the pockets again. We have pockets of places where you can train people to do this. Hey, you never know. This may even be a franchise.
Hey.
Yay! So yeah,
See, and you said you don't do long-term planning. You're
look,
lying.
when I
You're
do it, it just pops in my head. So Briar, make sure you write this down for me, okay?
lying. All right, my dear. Anything else you'd like to add?
I just want to tell people that you have the ability to, not maybe every part of your life, but there are some things that you can do, easy things you can do to help kind of rein in your life and make it a little bit easier so you don't have to worry about some of the day-to-day activities you have to do. And that way you can spend your energy on more important things like taking care of your family and your physical and mental health.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Tessa. We will talk to y'all later. Bye.